Today we're looking at 20 questions concerning agency relationships. I hope this helps you pass your real estate exam. We don't charge for this content, but we do ask that you subscribe, hit the notification button so you don't miss any videos. It's free to do so. Hit the thumbs up and comment below. Also check out our channel. We have hundreds of real estate exam questions. So here we go. What is an agency relationship in real estate? A relationship between a lender and a borrower. B, a relationship between a real estate broker and their client. C, a relationship between a buyer and a seller. D, a relationship between a property manager and a tenant. B, a relationship between a real estate broker and their client. An agency relationship in real estate is a fiduciary relationship between a real estate broker and their client, whether buyer or seller. What is a fiduciary duty? A, a legal obligation to act in another party's best interest. B, a requirement to provide financing. C, a duty to maintain the property. D, an obligation to disclose all personal financial information. A legal obligation to act in another party's best interest. A fiduciary duty is a legal obligation of one party to act in the best interest of another. In real estate, agents owe fiduciary duties to their clients. What is a dual agency? A, an agency relationship where two agents represent the same client. B, an agency relationship where one agent represents both the buyer and the seller. C, an agency relationship where the agent represents the lender. D, an agency relationship where the agent also acts as an appraiser. B, an agency relationship where one agent represents both the buyer and the seller. Dual agency occurs when a single agent or brokerage represents both the buyer and the seller in the same transaction. Before we move on, please subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the thumbs up and comment below. Also, check out our channel because we have hundreds of real estate questions. In which type of agency relationship is the agent's authority limited to a specific task or transaction? A, general agency. B, universal agency. C, special agency. D, dual agency. C, special agency. In a special agency, the agent's authority is limited to a specific task or transaction, such as selling a house. What is the primary duty of a buyer's agent? A, to help the seller get the highest price. B, to ensure the transaction closes quickly. C, to represent the buyer's interest and help them find a suitable property. D, to verify the seller's financial background. C, to represent the buyer's interest and help them find a suitable property. The primary duty of a buyer's agent is to represent the buyer's interest and assist them in finding and purchasing a suitable property. What is a listing agreement? A, a contract between a buyer and a lender. B, a contract between a seller and a real estate agent to list the property for sale. C, a rental agreement between a landlord and a tenant. D, a financing agreement for a property. B, a contract between a seller and a real estate agent to list the property for sale. A listing agreement is a contract between a seller and a real estate agent that authorizes the agent to list and market the property for sale. What is the difference between an exclusive right to sell listing and an open listing? An exclusive right to sell listing allows multiple agents to list the property. B, an open listing allows only one agent to list the property. C, an exclusive right to sell listing guarantees the agent a commission if the property sells, regardless of who finds the buyer. D, an open listing requires the seller to pay multiple commissions. C, an exclusive right to sell listing guarantees the agent a commission if the property sells, regardless of who finds the buyer. In an exclusive right to sell listing, the listing agent is guaranteed a commission if the property sells, no matter who finds the buyer. An open listing allows the seller to list a property with multiple agents, and only the agent who brings the buyer gets the commission. What is the purpose of a buyer representation agreement? A, to bind the buyer to purchase a specific property. B, to establish an exclusive agency relationship between the buyer and the agent. C, to list the buyer's current home for sale. D, to provide the buyer with financing options. B, to establish an exclusive agency relationship between the buyer and the agent. A buyer representation agreement establishes an exclusive agency relationship between the buyer and the agent, detailing the duties and obligations of both parties. What is a subagent in real estate? An agent who assists another agent in representing the client. B, an agent who represents the interest of a third party. C, an agent who works for a different brokerage. D, an agent who only handles commercial properties. A, an agent who assists another agent in representing the client. A subagent is an agent who assists the primary agent in representing the client, typically sharing fiduciary duties to the client. Which of the following best describes the duty of disclosure? A, keeping all client information confidential. B, disclosing any material facts about the property to the client. C, recommending contractors to the client. D, providing financing options to the client. B, disclosing any material facts about the property to the client. The duty of disclosure requires agents to inform their clients of any material facts or information that could affect the client's decision-making process. In real estate, what does agency by estoppel mean? A, an agency relationship that is explicitly stated in a contract. B, an agency relationship that is created by the actions of parties even if not formally agreed upon. C, an agency relationship that is illegal. D, an agency relationship that only exists during the closing process. B, an agency relationship that is created by the actions of the parties, even if not formally agreed upon. Agency by estoppel occurs when an agency relationship is established by the actions or behavior of the parties, even if no formal agreement exists. What is an implied agency relationship? A, a relationship that is formally documented in a contract. B, a relationship that is created based on the actions and conduct of the parties. C, a relationship that is illegal in most states. D, a relationship that only exists between family members. B, a relationship that is created based on the actions and conduct of the parties. An implied agency relationship is created based on the actions, behavior, or conduct of parties, suggesting that an agency relationship exists even without a formal agreement. Which type of agency relationship gives the agent the broadest authority to act on behalf of the principal? A, special agency, B, general agency, C, universal agency, D, dual agency. C, universal agency. A universal agency gives the agent broad and unlimited authority to act on behalf of the principal in all matters. What is a designated agency? A, when one agent represents both the buyer and the seller. B, when a broker assigns different agents within the same brokerage to represent the buyer and the seller. C, when an agent only represents commercial properties. D, when an agent is licensed in multiple states. B, when a broker assigns different agents within the same brokerage to represent the buyer and the seller. Designated agency occurs when a broker assigns different agents within the same brokerage to represent the buyer and the seller, avoiding dual agency. What is the primary duty of a seller's agent? A, to ensure the buyer gets the lowest price. B, to represent the seller's interest and help them sell the property for the highest possible price. C, to inspect the property for defects. D, to provide legal advice to the seller. B, to represent the seller's interest and help them sell the property for the highest possible price. The primary duty of a seller's agent is to represent the seller's interest and assist them in selling the property for the best possible price. What does agency disclosure mean in real estate transactions? A, informing clients about agents' commissions. B, informing clients about the agency relationships involved in the transaction. C, disclosing the agent's financial history. D, disclosing the client's personal information. B, informing clients about the agency relationships involved in the transaction. Agency disclosure involves informing clients about the agency relationships, including who the agent represents in the transaction, ensuring transparency and informed consent. In a transaction brokerage, who does the agent represent? A, the buyer only. B, the seller only. C, both the buyer and seller equally without fiduciary duties. D, the lender. Both the buyer and seller equally without fiduciary duties. In a transaction brokerage, the agent assists both the buyer and the seller in the transaction, but does not have fiduciary duties to either party. What is the client in real estate terms? A, a person who the agent has a fiduciary relationship with. B, a person who is only interested in viewing properties. C, a person who has no formal relationship with the agent. D, a person who handles the closing process. A person who the agent has a fiduciary relationship with. A client is someone who has a formal fiduciary relationship with the real estate agent, involving duties such as loyalty, disclosure, and confidentiality. What is the primary function of a property manager in an agency relationship? A, to sell the property for the highest price. B, to manage and oversee the day-to-day operations of rental properties. C, to represent buyers in purchasing properties. D, to conduct home inspections. B, to manage and oversee the day-to-day operations of rental properties. The primary function of a property manager is to manage and oversee the day-to-day operations of rental properties on behalf of the property owner. Well, that's all the questions we have today. I hope you did well on them. Once again, please help us out. It really helps us out and helps us keep making more videos when you subscribe, hit the notification button, hit the like button, and comment below. Also, check out our channel. We have hundreds of questions that are going to help you pass your real estate exam. So good luck. Have a great day.